it up, footballers? Welcome back to another episode of Spinning Postgame. Jeffrey here, and as always is my older brother James. And unfortunately, even though it was a fun game to watch, the Fire lost yesterday, James. 1-0 to LA Galaxy.
On the 14th of April.
14th of April. And let's start off with the formation. What was the formation, James?
Formation, you had Alan Gordon and Nikolic up top. They were backed up, with the foremost attacking type of mids was Chani and Collier. Backing them up as a central defensive mid was Dax Bacardi. And then you go out to your wingbacks, your left wingback Vincent, your right wingback Kabelhoff, and then your central defense, your three-man back line of Lillard at that left center back spot, Schweinsteiger in the anchor, and then Campbell out in that right flank, and then Sanchez in the goal.
Yeah.
So
what'd you think?
As far as the selection, I that was one of our better lineups. If I had one question mark for me, it was having Kappelhoff at right back. However, if you're going to bring in Lillard and Campbell to get that height against Zlatan, you can't sit Kappelhoff.
Yeah.
So he needs to be somewhere, and he could fill in admirably at right back. But I do think you missed some things that Connor could bring a little bit more in the attack there. But you can't lose Kappelhoff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, seeing this lineup, I mean, it's pretty defensive. I mean, we didn't generate much attack going forward. I know we generated
possession.
We had possession. We had around 60% possession, which is very shocking. But I mean, we didn't generate much chances at all.
And it's not due to the conditions of the weather. It was just due to the conditions of our attack.
Yeah, of our attack. I mean, Chani, I'm sorry, Chani needs to be dropped. He hasn't played his true CDM role. You know, he's kind of playing like a center mid, sometimes cam, and he
can't do either.
He just doesn't do it. I mean, there's times Nico is making beautiful runs, darting runs.
How many times did we see it yesterday?
He misses it. He doesn't have the vision.
What
was I calling him? No Vision Chani.
No Vision Chani.
Calling him No Vision Chani. So while we like the selection, there are a few things that, maybe Pono can tinker with now. Because, I think it was better.
It was better.
But, I mean, defensively it was better, but offensively just not much there. I mean, all we really got again is just Nico. So
overall, I'd say the collective effort from the team was good. This is probably the best this team can do.
Yeah.
With this collective level of talent, that was one of the best performances they could really do from an offensive and defensive standpoint. And they were beat by one mistake.
Yeah, one mistake.
One mistake. There could have been another goal or two, even for Zlatan on a breakaway that was stopped by Sanchez. I thought Sanchez had a very good game.
Good, bro.
Still has, his growing yips with sometimes failure to communication. He has that one bad ball pass a game. But I really feel like given some time, we're going to see those go away because we're seeing a lot of good stuff. He's not Swiss cheese. He is not Swiss cheese. And if you got a Swiss cheese goalkeeper, that's Matt Lamson. You could, you want that guy out of there. But guess what? This guy could stop shots.
Yeah.
He's a brick wall, so to speak, and he's got moves he can jump. He's just got a couple of yips.
And then Lillard.
Let's start from the back out.
Lillard, I thought was very impressive. He looked great. He looked strong.
His mistake.
More importantly, he was just communicating back there. I saw him
yelling
at Campbell, yelling at Basti, hey, mark up.
Telling Dax where to be.
So it was really good. It was really good seeing Lillard, show some of that leadership because in one of the previous interviews that Dax gave, he talked about how we didn't have any leadership back there.
We lost that since
So it was really
left.
nice seeing Lillard back there. Maybe I like to see going forward, maybe Pono switches back to his preferred 4-2-3-1. Maybe Lillard or Campbell, they stepped up. Maybe Pono now is, happy with that.
Yeah.
So maybe you can go back to 4 in the back with 2 center backs and maybe move Basti up because just the starting 11 as it was just wasn't attacking enough. And then they made some changes. What were those changes?
Well, let's get back to that later. I'm starting with the back out here. So Lillard, I thought, put in a fantastic performance. Him and Basti's confusion kind of led to the one mistaken goal. Campbell had popped out to go stop the ball.
Kind of a misclearance,
too. Misclearance, but he cleared it enough. But that created the separation enough for Ola Kamara and Zlatan to get in behind. And then Ola pulls a switch.
Yeah.
Basti, he really couldn't.
They crossed the runs. Ola Kamara and Zlatan crossed the runs.
Basti and Lillard couldn't really figure out who needed to guard who, and then Zlatan slips inside and just nods it in, being all 6'5".
And shows Basti again. He's not a center back. He's not a center back. He's there just to organize things, help us build out of the back. But winning balls out of the air, that's not what he's asked to do.
And defending is not really what he's asked to do. No. And from a backline sense, Basti is not a center back. The only reason he's back there is for his organizational skills.
Yep.
And if you can get that from a Lillard, if Lillard can step up and be that leader that we need, that'll be huge. And then you could run that 4-man back line. And at that point, I would think that maybe it's going to be Johan, Kappelhoff, and Lillard being started. And Campbell looks like a very serviceable.
Well.
I think he could start in occasions. He looked in a 3-man back line, especially you can go with Campbell, Lillard, and Kappelhoff. But you probably got to put Campbell in that center because he is used to running out of the center.
Yeah.
He did that a few times last year. And I liked him. I liked what I saw from him.
Or so James, let me ask you this. Would you like to stick to the 3 in the back, or would you, like me, start thinking about tinkering back with the 4 in the back system?
I could tinker back to the 4 back in the system, but if we are going to 3 back in the system, we could never see Bastian Schweinsteiger back there again. We got to move past that now. Just move past it because we saw the steps Lillard's taken. Let him take those steps. Let him take those lumps. Let Lillard elevate there. And if you do need a 3rd center back, put in Campbell. Well, Campbell can do it.
Well, there's almost 2 options. I mean, Pano is really saying, okay, we're going to play this 3 in the back system, defend, try to nick a goal, right? That's kind of what we're doing now. Versus,
but he does take,
you go with that 4-2-3-1, open it up a little bit. Are we going to be able? What I'm trying to say is we're going to have to open it up a little bit more, take some chances, and start scoring some goals.
I wonder if they like. One thing that we've seen in these games, these past 2 games, is where Basti will start in the back line, but at some point in the game, they'll go to a 4-man back line and they'll move him out. But then that moves Chani into a more attacking position, and he's not good at being an attacking position.
Chani's got to be dropped.
He's got to be dropped.
Chani's got to be dropped.
And we saw that yesterday when who came in for Chani, but number 17, Campos. Yeah. So they got a little more offensive there immediately.
Oh, Campos, Katai, and Baccaro, when those guys came in, we definitely got a little bit more offensive minded.
So we covered our back line, we covered our goalie. Let's move up to the wing backs. I think Vincent is starting to get more and more exposed, and I've seen a few issues in his marking and his awareness where we could have gotten beat for about 2 goals yesterday because Vincent was just not where he needed to be. Him and Dax were on the wing for this one specific play, and I just remember thinking when the one winger gets the ball, I'm like, why is Vincent where he is? He's totally not where he's supposed to be. And this is starting to become a thing.
Well, on the offensive side of the ball.
This is something we've seen almost game in, game out with
on
Vincent.
the offensive side of the ball, he was taking corners.
Yeah.
His deliveries and corners and just from the run of play, his corners, crosses were just poor.
You thought so?
Poor crosses,
they want
poor
him
delivery from Brandon.
Had him taking those all game for some reason.
Yeah, I was not impressed by Brandon's performance last game, but I'm still high on Brandon. I still like Brandon. We don't have to,
Yeah, definitely. But I think Brandon needs to do something better defensively. He's got to step up his game defensively.
Sure.
Offensively, I'm okay with him for the most part, but defensively, he's got to step up his game because I'm seeing the same mistake from game 1 to game yesterday with Zlatan, and that's a concern. Let's move over to the right side. We had Kappelhoff. Kappelhoff, not the most offensive-orientated right back, a more offensive-orientated center back.
He has the skill, he has the technical skills.
But he doesn't have the north-south.
But he just doesn't. He didn't get up.
The nose.
Right. He's a true center back. Right. So you could see there's times where he was just late getting up that line. Well, you see Matt is sometimes Matt Polster sometimes acting like another winger.
Yeah.
And he's on that back line.
Oh, and he presses. He pushes.
Cap was a little bit more of a support role than a true attacking winger. Even though he did have some opportunities.
Actually, Cap was one of our more creative players last night. He probably created some of the more better chances for the Fire. One of his crosses that pressured Bingham, another cross that went right to Nico, but Nico headed it right. Oh, they just missed.
Yeah, it was the best chance.
That was one of our best chances there. So we'll move out. Dax McCarty, I thought, was playing lights out yesterday.
Plays hard.
He was a man on a mission. He was a man on a mission, and I was thoroughly impressed. He looked, at the end of the game, he was beat because he was running his butt off.
Yep.
And I was very impressed. Let's move on to Chani. It's time to sit Chani. It's time to get what you can from Baccaro or from Campos.
Yeah.
And no longer put Chani in a position where he's ill-suited to be. He is a center defensive mid backup. He's a center defensive mid, let me repeat that, backup. He's a backup to McCarty and a backup to Schweinsteiger and even possibly a backup to Drew Connor. Because I'd rather see Drew Connor out there than Chani because I think he has a little bit more offensive chops. Chani cannot pass, has no vision, hurts this team more offensively than he helps defensively, and it's time to drop this guy. He's not helping enough. If the quality isn't there. He's a great sub. What a great guy to have on your bench. What a solid guy to help, sew up the game.
Yeah.
But not a guy you could bank on for 60 to 80 minutes to help you win the game and score goals. No.
Well, in going forward, I mean, when we got the ball forward, sometimes you would just see Nico all by himself. Sprinting. Collier would get up. But then you would have Chani, who's more of a center mid. He was not getting up. Again, his natural tendencies. He doesn't want to get high. He wants to sit, right? So it's hard playing players out of their natural positions because they're going to, revert back to their natural tendencies. So Chani, I'm sorry,
you got to drop him.
He's got to be dropped. He's got to be dropped.
We'll move on to Collier. Collier had a game.
He's good.
Just one of those games, and you know what? Let him keep coming along.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid's got some talent. He's got some chops. He does enough. Does he do enough to stay out there for Baquero or Campos? We'll see. But those three guys are coming along.
Yeah,
all three of those guys showing some ability.
We got right now. We got our kids.
But those are the kids that are coming along. Nico was not getting the service he needed. He only got the few touches he did get. He just missed. And Nico's one of those players that few touches and he could score. Mm-hmm. Yesterday he got a few touches and he hit it right at the goalkeeper. And sometimes you'll have those days. Gordon did his job as being the big man.
Fine. I thought Gordon was very serviceable. I thought he was very serviceable.
Baquero, do you have any thoughts on Baquero coming in?
Nah, I didn't have many thoughts on that.
I thought more about Campos and Katai.
They changed the game a little bit.
I thought they changed the game a little bit more than Baquero did, but all the same, good to see Baquero getting minutes, and good for Katai getting back in the game. He helps. He does help.
Katai helps.
More offense.
Here's the thing. Lineup. If we need more offense, we're probably going to have to switch systems. I mean, we're probably going to have to switch back, like we said, that 4-2-3-1. I would really like to see Vincent, either Campbell / Lillard, whoever
probably
works
Lillard.
out.
I would say Lillard for the leader.
Kappelhoff, Drew as of now.
Drew Connor, until Poster comes back.
I would like to see Basti Dax, and then I guess Campos as that cam.
Yes.
Then you have Katai, Collier, Nico up top. Am I missing anyone, James?
Another thing that I could run too is I could run McCarty as a pivot and run Campos and Schweinsteiger as a dual center mid with maybe allowing Campos to run forward a lot more.
Schweiny's going to sit. He's going to sit a little bit.
Yeah, and Schweiny will sit a little bit. So we see what I'm saying with Dax maybe in that pivot role, let Schweiny be in that mid role, and the Campos attack a little bit more. So, that'd be a way.
So we have some more offensive talent, some more offensive flair. Yeah, we might get opened up. We'll get stretched a little bit more, and we'll concede some more goals probably. But we need to score goals in order to win, James. You need to score goals. So, I mean, we'll see. I would like to think Pano will switch it up next game. Hopefully back to that 4-2-3-1. Just because, but I don't know. We're playing some offensive juggernauts, aren't we, in the next couple games?
We have Atlanta and Toronto coming up.
So maybe we stick to that style of just, hey, we're going to play five in the back and just try to nick a goal.
That's so hard.
Just like we won against Columbus.
But we don't have the players for a track meet, which was illustrated yesterday.
Yeah.
When they have the players that can attack like that, and we just don't, and what minimal attack we do generate just doesn't really amount to many chances. We had all that possession. Really not that many chances.
Well, players are trying. I think Pano's trying. Go back to what we've been saying.
I feel like these have tactically. Pano has been on his game these last two games. Yeah. He's made the right calls substitute-wise. He's made the right calls for the most part selection-wise. And he's coaching his brains out right now. And I really feel like he's doing good. He's doing good with the level of talent that he has.
I think that's been a knock for some of the fans, too, is Pano's inability to maintain a lineup. But, I mean, it is what it is.
He's getting these guys to play to the level that they can play.
Yeah, with injuries and just who we have on this, the way our roster is comprised, I mean, I think yesterday kind of is what it is. I mean, that was a good performance for what we have until we get some reinforcements.
Until we get a couple of more offensively minded guys or a better center back in there.
Or someone takes off. Maybe Collier steps up or things like that. But, we're going to stay positive. We're going to stay, hoping that we get those W's.
Yes.
And we'll see. We'll see what happens going into these
behind
next
the eight ball right
games.
now with not a very good homestand right there. But
was it 4 points?
4 points out of 9.
4 points out of 9.
Not a great homestand, but It is what it is with this team right now, and Pano warned us. He said it's going to be hard going forward. They're going to do the best they can. We are seeing the best that they can.
Yeah.
Nelson, we got to see the best that you can do, though, now, because this team needs some reinforcements. The team can't concentrate on who's coming in. They got to concentrate on what they have in the locker room right now. They can't worry about who's coming in. They can't. They don't have the time. So you do your job and let those guys do theirs. Let Pano coach these guys that he has in the locker room, and let's go fire.
Let's go fire.
Let's go fire. And we need hopefully we get some more positive things going in the future. Ibra, impressive.
Zlatan,
real quick.
Masterclass, yeah.
Ibra, masterclass, amazing, so fun. Put in longer shift than we even thought he would. He said he could go longer, but he said it was good to get somebody out there with energy.
And then it was crazy. All the fans left
right after he subbed off.
Came off 80th minute, and then the fans left.
Not a great look for a
look,
record-setting crowd, but
hey, thanks for coming out.
But all the same,
we'll roll with that.
You know, they got the experience that they wanted and that they paid for it, and that was their choice. Albeit, so it was a great game. It was fun to watch.
Guess we'll end it here.
And I guess we'll end it there.
End it here.
And we just gotta hope for more. Hope for the best.
W's.
Hope these guys can figure out. And they turned the corner. I actually do think they've turned a corner.
I think they did turn a little bit of a corner. So hopefully, a couple switches, like we said, maybe move Basti up, Lillard.
Maybe a couple player sentences from some of these youthful guys.
Yeah, maybe there are some internal things we still can do to, generate some, W's.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. That about does it. We'll sign off here. Have a great weekend and have a great week, and that'll be the plan.
See you
All right,
guys.